Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Circle of Alchemy Sisters. Today, we are going to be talking about relationships. We never have a pre-planned day. We sort of just see where the morning takes us. In the bathroom, when I was getting ready, I kept hearing love, relationships, and I feel like we're going to channel about love and relationships. And me and you were just having a pre-recording meeting, and Mother Isis came through. So she's very excited to come through for the collective and speak. She's very excited that we've asked her to do this with us. So she has some messages. Is there anything you want to add before we get started?
No, let's get right into it.
Right into it. Okay. Just let me bring her through. I am already here, and I am so excited for this event. I am Mother Isis, and I am not a entity that likes to use a lot of words. I am the strong and silent type. I like to sit back, and I like to observe, and I like to nod my head in approval. But to come through and speak to the new earth and the fifth dimension is a very exciting thing. There has been a split on earth. It's not that there is going to be a split on earth. The split has happened. And congratulations, if you are here and you are listening to this, you are in the fifth dimension. It is a beautiful thing. It doesn't mean that we don't withhold certain energies that still exist and we don't visit the third dimension. We do. We're always going to have to go back and check into the third dimension. It lets us know really how far we've come as evolved spirits, and it lets us allow the grateful energy to come through. How grateful I am that I do not live where I used to live anymore. It feels that she's given me that nauseous feeling, right? Mm-hmm. Like when you go down to where you used to exist, like look how far you've come in a year, like just look at where you were and when you look back there, you're like, ugh, like it feels so yucky there, right? That's the feeling of the third dimension. That's the feeling of old Earth. So we go and we visit old Earth because we have relatives there. Right. We have family members there. And Isis is still coming through. She's just talking through me now. She said she's the strong and silent type. So she came through with a few words, but now she's just allowing me to receive the message telepathically. So the differences between the old Earth and the new Earth are really felt. And some of us are still in relationship with people who do exist in the third degree realm, right? And that's very hard. And there have been so many relationship issues that have been erupting in the last 2 to 3 months, but especially the last 3 to 4 weeks. Like it's been very intense. Some people started on the journey a little earlier, I'd say 3 to 4 months ago. But recently, in the last month, relationships have just really because that split has officially happened, We were living in the in between before. We were living in the fourth dimension. It was still possible to live there, right? But now it's clicked, right? And now there's a distinct difference between dimensions. And if you're a fifth dimensional being, if you're a fifth dimension human being who's evolved into the fifth dimension, living in a house with someone who is living in the third dimension is going to feel almost painful, right? And just they're giving me the feeling of that tingling in my nose, I just want to cry because it just feels so sad where they live, and I just don't know how I can get them to see that there's help and there's a future that doesn't exist in all of this sadness and all of this pain. But really it's not your job. And that's what so many people are sticking in these very poisonous, toxic, unhealthy, unsatisfying, sad, depraved relationships, not with bad people, not necessarily they're bad people. They just are not ready to accept that there is healing that needs to be done. They're okay with keeping all of that inside of them, right? And to a fifth dimensional person who is saying, I choose healing. I choose healing and dealing with all the things, you know? In the third dimension, it would take you 3 to 4 months, maybe a year, to deal with some of the things that you're going through, right? But when you're living in the fifth dimension, it's like a week. You know, like healing happens in a week in the fifth dimension, right? Whereas before, it would have taken you 3 to 4 months, 6 months, depending on how intense, if you even got through it. Because eventually you just say, screw it, put that down in me, and I don't even want to deal with it anymore.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to take a break there, and I'm going to ask if you have any questions or if you've come up with anything that you've thought about in that time.
Okay, so I feel like this is the part where I'm going to allow myself to be heard. I'm going to put a little bit of personal information out there because I feel like in today's world and what's going on all around us right now is people that are having relationship problems. There's the rise of the divine feminine and men are losing their shit.
Not necessarily just men, but the masculine energy
the masculine
is under a lot of pressure to evolve.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
We don't want to dog men.
No.
Or the masculine energy. I love masculine energy. It's beautiful. I really love it in a woman. But, right, we're not dogging on the men. We're saying there's so much pressure right now on men to evolve that they are either ascending or cracking under the pressure, but either one is evolvement, right? Like they have to get to the bottom, rock bottom, in order to go anywhere else. Release all that.
Yes. So in my case, the masculine is losing his shit. Okay, and I'm sure that there's other relationships out there where that is how it feels. But really it's the like Kristi said, it is the pressure of having to evolve or choosing to evolve. How much of this do I want to release? For last month, for last good month, I have underwent major relationship changes, and it has been really, really, really difficult with choosing to love myself and respect myself more than to continue putting up with toxic behaviors that have existed in my relationship for the past 2 years. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it because this was a very, very difficult thing for me to do, to finally stand up for myself and to choose me. And I have given many chances for the masculine to rise with me and to evolve and to look at his behavior and to change. And it did not happen. He chose not to. So I decided that our relationship has come to an end.
Very brave decision first, right? Like, very hard decision, very heartbreaking decision, but also very brave, okay? Because realizing that's what they're saying. That's what they're coming through and saying. Like, someone has got to realize that this is no longer serving you, right? Like, someone has to come to the conclusion. I've tried everything. We've gone to therapy. We've gone to couples. We've done this. We've talked about it. We like nothing. I've expressed myself. Oh, nothing is changing. And then it's got to the point where it's been 25 years and we're just like, well, that's just who they are and I just deal with it, right? Mm-hmm. And they're saying like that's not fifth dimensional earth energy and we can't exist in that anymore. If a relationship is no longer serving you, you are actually hindering your higher self from evolving and their higher self from evolving, you know, because you're not evolving together. So if we release one another, then we can go on our ascension path, or we can choose to stay where we've always been in the third dimension. It's not, I want to say it's not a bad world. It's not like the third dimension is possible to live in. It's just hard and dark down there, you know. It's all those yucky bad feelings that you have, all the doubt, all the questions, all the constant like the anxiety attacks, you know, like you have a choice. You do not have to live there, but it's not easy. How much work does it take to get to this fifth dimension? You are just talking about your soul's been shattered and ripped into tiny little pieces over and over and over again on this ascension path, right? And you just made one of the hardest decisions of your life. Ascension is not easy.
No. So let's just make that really clear. It is not easy, but when you're in a place of having to choose either to stay in the toxic situation that you're in and to continue having the same fights over and over again, or
they could not even be fights.
Yeah, it
right?
could be
Some
anything.
people maybe don't fight. They aren't fighters. Mm-hmm. But the cycle.
Yes, the cycle. That's better.
The cycle that's happening. Are you okay with staying in that cycle, or do you want to evolve in that cycle, right? And if you're the only one that wants to evolve, you can continue to try to keep evolving and evolving. But if your person doesn't seem to evolve, it's like you're just leaving them behind. Like, what kind of life is this? Why are we together if I'm creating this wonderful, beautiful life over here that I want to live and frolic in the wildflowers, and you want to stay here and just play on your video games all day long, right?
And also, anything that you're trying to manifest for yourself, you're going to be blocked by that person's energy, by that person's speech, how they speak. It's like you're butting heads. You're creating and you're thinking lovely things, like you're creating your best life. And this one over here is like, well, we were always broke. Like, it's like it's a constant battle. Like, so if you're trying to evolve and to make the best life for yourself, and you're stuck with a person that's in the 3D,
you have to separate your energy,
and that is almost impossible.
Especially when you're sleeping next to each other every night, showering together, getting ready together, paying bills together.
You're sharing energy.
Yeah. I mean, as a couple, you even get telepathic. You can feel what other people are thinking, you know? So if one's existing in the third dimension and you're existing in the fifth dimension and you're like reading their thoughts, it's going to bring you down. So you do have to separate your energy. And it is like, why are you doing this? And most of it comes down to, that's just the way things are. That's just the way we are. That's just our relationship. That's just who I am, you know? And the fifth dimension does not have time for that.
No.
They're like, no, evolve.
Yes.
Because there's like a much better place for you somewhere else.
Yes. And that's exactly what I'm searching for, because I respect myself way too much to continue being served the same cycle over and over and over. It may look different, but it's still the same cycle.
Yeah, it's like someone is serving you over and over and over leftovers. Mm-hmm. And like the leftovers just get older every single day, right? I just had that. That was a week ago. And you're still giving me this? Like, this is old. This is old now. I want a new dinner. You know, I want fresh food. Why are you serving me all these crusty ass leftovers? You're the cook in the house. I want some good mood, right? And it's just energy, of course, but that's the reference that they're giving
Honestly,
me.
that was perfect. It was perfect. Because I completely got it. So, but yes. So, it can be done, and you may have to go through pain for a little bit. You're gonna have to completely like shed all of your emotions. You're gonna have to completely let it all go, and that's what I'm in the process of doing. And if you have to cry all day for a couple days, then do what you need to do to help yourself heal. Because that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, shed, release. We can't move forward with heavy feelings. We have to let those heavy feelings out, which is why I recommend a lot of things to get them out, right? Like, I feel like smash rooms are such a beautiful way to get your anger and your energy out. I feel like screaming, like at night around a fire, just like this right? Like this beautiful guttural female release, you know? Like we have to be able to release these things in a way, and sometimes it has to be done through pure feminine rage. Like, rawr, you know? We don't always have to like release things in a feminine, beautiful way. Like sometimes we got to get messy in a dark, feminine way. So think about that when you are releasing. I know that you've said you've been crying and very sad, but I feel like we need to go break some shit.
I was actually just sitting here thinking about, all that screaming. I might just do it in my pillow.
Yeah.
And then cleanse the hell out of my room after.
Yeah. Like get it out, right? Or just let's take a drive to the woods, and just let out that guttural scream, that womanly, I just need to get it out, dig deep.
Yeah. Because even though I chose myself and I chose to respect myself and to love myself and to go after what I know I deserve, it's still sad because I'm shedding the goals that I had. I'm shedding the life that I knew. I'm letting go the because even though he may have toxic behaviors,
he's your comfort.
He's also treated me better than anybody else. And that's sad to say. Because,
At least you're evolving.
It was the better relationship of all the others. And I guess sometimes that can be like hard for women to give up. Well, but he's great in all these other areas. But it's just these couple little, areas right here that, he needs work on. But all these are, way better. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Because when you are evolving, you're replaying these small areas over and over. Where it used to be every 6 months, now it becomes every week.
Yeah. And that's the pressure that the new earth is being put on all of us. Mm-hmm. That's why relationships are at such an all-time pressurized high right now, is because, it's just going to keep happening until you realize that I choose me. Mm-hmm. I love this person. Like, I want them to be in my life for the rest of my life, but in a healthy way.
That is absolutely right.
Because the longer we stay and we butt heads and we battle, the more animosity and the more hatred and the more anger comes up. And if we can realize that this is a healthy release, that I want you in my life forever, but at this moment in time, we cannot cohabitate. It's okay. We're humans. I think we change every 7 years. We shed all new everything every 7 years, but we expect relationships to go on for lifetimes, Okay, so now I feel the extraterrestrials coming in, and they have a completely different view of relationships than those earth-based things that we've been talking about. These are very earth-based and very human emotions that we're feeling in relationships. But the Pleiadians, they come through, and the Arcturians, they come through with a higher elevated form of love. And they're saying, like, there's too much pressure. It's too much pressure to expect one person, one human being, to satisfy your every single need for your entire life. Now, there are some humans who have proved that love is eternal, okay? And that this may not be for everyone, but there are evolved humans coming to this earth, living as evolved humans on this earth, and they are bringing energy of evolved ways of thinking, which are, let's just go with the flow. We cannot just proclaim this, I have found this one person and I am going to reside the rest of my life with them. We evolve constantly, or don't. And we need to stay with what's healthy for us so we can evolve into the humans that we have planned to evolve here into when we came to this planet, right? And this is the exact channel, like word for word, that I did in the car with you, right? Like they're coming through and they're saying the exact same thing. Like we're coming through with higher, as humans, higher evolved ways of thinking. And in that comes, I need to release you before I destroy the love that we have.
That it was what I was waiting to say, and you just said it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No. You picked. I had picked up on that energy, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So thank you
because
for
it's
saying
called
that.
unconditional love.
Yeah.
When you marry someone, you vow to love them unconditionally, good or bad. Just because I cannot cohabitate with you doesn't mean that I don't unconditionally love you.
Yes.
And want you to be in my life forever.
And sometimes for low vibrational humans, the 3D, they can't understand that kind of love. They don't understand. They think that once you leave a person that you just need to forget all about them and completely shut them off and never see them again. But I have such a big heart and I'm so evolved that I'm like, I love you. You're one of my best friends. I don't understand why we could never see or talk to each other, because all I want for you is to be happy.
Yeah.
All I want for you is to be the best that you can be.
Yeah. And of course, they're saying in the human realm, it is going to take a while to get there. It is a transformation. It is a transformative energy. And some people are not able to handle that transformative energy, especially if they are not on the ascension, right? And most likely, if you are releasing someone, it's because they are not on the ascension, the same ascension that you're on. You're on different paths. So, don't be afraid to release someone from the contract that you have vowed to keep them forever and ever and ever. If it does not serve either one of you has to be the ascended master in the situation and say, I love you, and I want to be in your life forever. But right now, at this moment in time, coexisting in the same space is very, very unhealthy for both of us. So I'm going to ask that we remove ourselves from this situation, right? And in the human realm, everybody thinks that means divorce. But we're saying, let's just separate our energy for a little bit and see what happens. Is that something we want to explore? Divorce?
Okay, let me follow up with a question. Okay, so in these in this transition where we have the 5D and the 3D person, when the 5D person separates their energy and makes the decision to move on because the 3D person is refusing to evolve or grow, what happens when because remember, this is a scenario where they're both completely in love with each other. They both love each other. What happens to the 3D person whenever that 5D person removes themselves from the relationship?
That 3D person, it is up to them to learn how to ascend on their own. Realize, be aware of all the things that they are inflicting upon themselves by not focusing and repairing what has been broken by others.
Is the 5D person kind of like the catalyst in their awakening?
Yes. An opportunity to rise every day. If you are with an ascended the word ascended master keeps coming through, and they're just comparing that to 5D. Like if you're an ascended being and you are with a third dimensional being, that third dimensional being has a blessing and an opportunity every single day that they are in contact with a fifth dimensional being, okay? It's like their higher self has planned for them to have this opportunity to ascend every single day. Every single day they have the opportunity to ascend. They have the opportunity to advance in energy. But every single day, their human is so scared to get out of that comfort zone that they just can't leave. They just can't leave. Because, again, the ego, that third dimensional shell that is around you, that is only there to protect you. You have put it on yourself to protect you. And in order to ascend, we got to break that shell. And we have to let our real self out, even if our real self has dealt with a lot of traumas. We need to come forward and we need to be honest with ourselves and say, I hold this frequency and I hold this energy because I have experienced this, and this in my life. And I vow now to face those things and feel those feelings and then release them, right? Like, it sounds so simple when you explain it that way. It's coming face to face with your actual demons that create the energy of the toxicity that you're carrying in the relationships. Come to face with the shit that messes you up instead of, no, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to talk about it. Nope. Nobody knows that about me. I have never told anyone about me. I'm just going to hold this secret in forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, right? And not let it out. That is not ascension. That's not how we cut the dead weights from us so that we can ascend. Every single trauma that we can come face to face with and look dead in the eye with and say, I'm not scared of you. You do not rule me anymore. And release it. Mm-hmm. You know, every single one is like a cut on balloons, dead weights, balloons, you know, so that we can just fly.
Awesome. That was so fucking powerful.
Yeah. The extra dimensionals are the Pleiadians, the Arcturians now. Are coming in strong. And to me, the Arcturians are all about love. So it doesn't surprise me that when the message is love, 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 the Arcturians are here. Because every time the Arcturians come in to channel for me, that's what they're channeling about, is just love. Higher dimensional love. It is what we vow to do. When we get a divorce, we're breaking that contract of unconditional love, right? And they're saying, like, we don't care about divorce or not divorce, those things. We don't care about those things. But as a human, when you're saying, I vow to do this, I vow to do this, you're vowing to love that person unconditionally for the rest of your life. So staying in that situation where it creates hate, you're actually going against the contract of unconditional love. You vowed to love this person, good or bad. I'm still going to love you, but if our vibrations are causing us to bicker and argue and just not exist in a happy, we're putting on a facade to everyone. We're pretending we're a happy couple. We're pretending that we get along. We don't sleep in the same bed. We hate each other. We fight. It's gone. The love is gone. You're breaking that unconditional love contract. Let it go. Love them unconditionally.
Yes, definitely. Break it before you hold resentment and anger and all the negative feelings that you never want to feel for that person.
Yeah, because you're not, and that's what they're saying, like, I'm trying really hard not to bring this through, but they keep talking about it. I'm going to push it back one more time. But they're saying, like, move forward in unconditional love, okay? Whatever that means to you, in unconditional love. And release all the stigmas and all the things that you've been taught about. We're bringing it through again. They're saying monogamy is not the way of the future, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, as evolved humans, we need interpersonal, very beautiful relationships, okay? So it's okay to have your best girlfriend as someone that you cry in their lap, and like you hold while they're falling apart, right? There's almost like monogamy has certain lines that don't hold true in the fifth dimension. Like, we're going to have to blur the lines a little bit because we're fifth dimensional now. We're higher way of thinking. And if someone needs us to hold them and hug them and lay with them and needs that from us, and that person is, say, our best friend, we need to be able to do that for them without our other human thinking that we're cheating on them.
Oh, yes. That is absolutely true. Yes.
So what they're saying, like, in your language, in your human realm, it's called polyamory, and that's the word I was trying not to bring through because so many people instantly, like, judge it, right? But that's what they're saying. Like, we're able to hold very special relationships with very many people. And sometimes those energies require us to show physical affection. Like, it's okay to hold hands with someone whom you love very much, whom you share a very special bond with. In monogamy, that might be considered cheating, right? But it's energy exchange. It's beautiful energy exchange, and we have to broaden and expand our minds here in the fifth dimension, because that doesn't equal cheating in the fifth dimension. That equals love and understanding and respect and support. It's I am here for you. I am here for you. A man who is there for his best friend who is falling apart. Hold that brother's hand. Hug that brother. Lay with him. Comfort him. That is not something that should be inappropriate in the fifth dimension. Okay? Because we are unconditionally loving people.
Yes.
And it doesn't align with what we've been taught as monogamy, So it's something that it doesn't mean that I want you to go out and sleep with many others. Although that is a part of it if you choose. It's that erasing of the lines of, if I can just comfort this person and share my energy with this person and help them through what they're going through and whatever need they need, in this moment, as long as it doesn't cross my personal boundaries, right? Like, I should be able to hold and hug and comfort someone if they need it, if that is what they need from me, without having to keep it secret. Having my partner being angry, because that is fifth dimensional unconditional love, and that is where we are moving. That's the message that they're bringing down, and you don't have to align with it. It's not something that you have to align with. They're just saying it is sort of a higher dimensional way. It's our relationships don't hold the same things that the human relationships do. They hold a higher dimensional way of thinking, and it's up to you whether you want to align to it or not.
It's beautiful. It's love. It's absolutely, like, I feel like I relate to that, like, because I show compassion and kindness and love to everybody, whether I'm hugging them in public, just like people you just meet, or your best friend, or even like your children. I don't think it should just stay to your children or your spouse. You should be able to show love and kindness to anyone you meet. Whether you're helping somebody in the grocery store and
Yes.
You see somebody who's crying and you just walk up and you hug them because, you want to show them love, like they're not alone.
Yeah.
Without a person that's supposed to love and support you think that, you're just
crossing the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. It's the fifth dimensional way of thinking. So they're actually saying, if you are in a relationship where you are being questioned all the time, we really need you to take inventory of what kind of energy do you align with?
Yeah.
Do you align with this open expression of love? Or do you align with this very straightforward, me and you, and that's it, alignment? So, yeah, they're just saying, like, check your alignment. Check your alignment. See what you're aligned to.
Let me do a follow-up question to the previous question that I asked. After the 5D, 3D split between couples, and let's say the 3D person does the work in a couple of years, they are, right there doing the work, healing, and they start to revisit. Would there ever be a chance for a reunion, or would it just be like, it's a severed contract?
Okay, so if a contract is meant to play out, they will be presented again. You're not going to miss out on, everybody thinks they're going to miss out on the love of their life. And that's why we don't release people. Because we think, yeah, they have these certain qualities and they really bug me and they really make me mad. But I love them so much, and I don't think I'm ever going to meet anybody else that I'm going to love as much as them, right? And they're saying, like, if it's meant to be, if this is the love of your life, that you have chosen to be that one soul contract, they're saying it's going to come around again. You're never going to miss out on the love of your life. If you have to let someone go to let them evolve, and they come back around in 20 years or 5 years or whatever, and then provide you with this beautiful partnership, the evolved partnership, it's so much better than struggling and maybe getting to that point where we hate each other and we destroy what could have been. If we just released each other, let each other evolve into the people that they need to evolve into, and if it's aligned, we come back together later without having to deal with all this yucky stuff in the middle.
How do you know if when they come back around that it's not another lesson presenting itself to you?
You don't. They're saying trust your intuition. Your heart is going to feel differently than your stomach. Okay? Our heart chakra is always going to recognize that soul recognition. Always. Okay? Our heart chakra is unconditional love. It doesn't know anything else. Unconditional love, free flowing, right? But our solar plexus is really here to say, pay attention to me. This is gooey. This is firm. So always check into your intuition. Always check into your gut. That flip-flop in your gut, that really tells you something, okay? Now, I don't know how your gut works. If it's telling you no, run away, or if it's telling you yes, I don't know how your body works. But the gut really, really, really tells you what you need to know.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. What else do we want to
My ear's ringing crazy right now. Like, everything just went and then it's ringing. So that's exciting. There's a nice high energy going on in this room. We love that.
Yes.
The higher the energy, the better. Okay, so what else do we want to talk about? We got relationships. We got releasing of relationships, moving forward. Now, that is the hard part, moving forward. How do I move forward without this one person that I have been depending on every single day of my life for the last 5, 6, 2, 6 months? It doesn't matter how long the relationship has been. You were in a partnership. You were depending on one another to help each other. And now that person is not there. How do you move forward? They're saying a lot of people can't get through this phase, right? It's we got to keep going. We got to keep going. I love that these two marks on the table are right here, because it's always a path for me just to, like, move forward. We just move forward. And we feel the feelings. It's not like we're going to shove them down and not feeling. We cry, we get angry, and then we go to a space where we're grateful for what the relationship showed us. We're grateful for all the amazing experiences. We're grateful, right? And it's a process. So, like, process that sadness, process that anger, and then get into that space where I'm grateful. I am here for a reason. And you are going to recognize that you're better, right? Like,
No, yes, for sure.
you look back and you're like, oh God, I wouldn't go back there again. I don't want to go back there again. I come so far.
I feel like that we need to address some, because it's not just emotional, like, how am I going to get through this emotionally? How am I going to work through these feelings? I just feel so freaking sad. I'm so heartbroken. I feel so heavy. All those are normal feelings, and just cry them out or beat them out.
It's a
Whether
process.
you're just like breaking stuff, yelling, like we discussed earlier in the show. But what about the financial burdens? So a lot of women or men may be like stay-at-home parents, or they sacrifice their jobs to stay home, or or some of them probably have never worked. So there's like a lot of financial burdens that and a lot of people tend to stay because they're so afraid. So how do we work through the financial side of things?
We have to release the fear. There is it's embedded in us as humans to be fearful of money, it's the root of all evil. That's what we're taught, right? Money is the root of all evil, but we need it to survive. So it's got a very negative connotation to it, right? So first of all, we have to repair the relationship we have with the money thoughts. Okay? So now we need to create a relationship that says, I love money. Money's my friend, because money is an energy. Are you going to bring money to you by loving it and treating it nicely? Or are you going to say, ew, I hate money. Money is stupid. I wish it didn't exist. You're not going to create a very good relationship with money if you're talking shit about it. Right to its face, right? So we have to create a nice, loving, kind, accepting, beautiful partnership with the energy of money. I love money. Money is my friend. It comes to me and flows to me in all ways, shapes, and form. We have to talk out loud. We have to create this energy. And sometimes we have to do things that we didn't think that we would ever want to do or have to do, right? I was in this relationship and they provided everything for me, and I'm so grateful for that. But I don't have that anymore. And even though I never planned on going back to this one thing, it's what I have to do to literally create the energy of movement forward and independence. Okay? Very familiar channel, yes? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So they're saying adapt to everything around you. Adapt. Get comfortable with it. Speak the things that you have not spoken before. Create the abundance in your life and do the things that scare you just a little bit. If you were not comfortable with leaving the home to get a job and you wanted to be a stay-at-home mom for the rest of your life, you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to get a job. You're going to have to put the energy of the movement of money forward, make friends with it, and you might not have to stay in that physical job forever because maybe you're an entrepreneur, right? If you're an entrepreneur, then get and dive into your passions. Do what your entrepreneurship is all about, right?
Bless you. Bless you. That was a cute little sneeze.
Thanks. So we're gonna have to go into the uncomfortable parts of this because it really is development. It's more layers that we're adding on to this experience, this human experience. And our guides came through earlier and told us a very valuable lesson that I think is beautiful. They're not here to cheat our human experience. Our higher self, our soul, has planned this very beautiful ascension process for us, okay? And our guides are not here to put a kink in that experience or steal that experience from us. Because once we cross over, we're going to be like, dude, why did you stop that? I could have evolved so far from that. And then the guide is like, well, I just felt so much for you. I was just so sad for you. Like, you were begging me and I just cracked under the pressure. And you're like, next time, don't enable me, right? That could have really helped me, right? And our guides came through and told us that I am not here to cheat you out of your very real, very beautiful human experience. This is your human experience. I'm just here to support you and guide you and lead you, but I am not here to tell you anything or to ruin or take this amazing human experience from you. And that's very hard for us humans to hear, especially when we're vibrating in such a hurtful place, right? Where we're like, just come save me. Just come save me. Just like, I don't want to go through this. And they're saying, you're choosing the higher dimension. You're choosing the fifth dimension. And that means, babe, you got to heal. You got to go through this. And you got to do it on your own because this is yours that you chose. It's for you. Everything is for you. So our guides, our loved ones, our ancestors, even though they can throw us little things because they do love us so much. I really am grateful that I have very strict guides who don't let me cheat out on my human experience. If it's crappy, I'm going to go through it, right? Even though I beg and I get pissed off and I throw tantrums and I tell them, you, like, I don't even want to talk to you guys anymore. I'm not going to talk to you guys anymore, right? Like, I'm pissed. Like, you say you're my friends. Like, you're my friends and you're letting me go through this. And they're up there saying, oh, I love her so much. I want to help her so much, but I can't. She'll be so mad when she gets back up here, So take it easy on your guides. They're here giving you the experience that you planned and that you chose. And for your soul's evolution, take it easy on your guides. They're just here to love you. They're not here to save you from your own choices. They're here to guide you through the energy that you create when you make these right or wrong, quote unquote, choices. Because again, nothing is ever right or wrong. It's all just experience. And it's our human experience.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, even though it's torturous. I mean, like, we've all been there.
No, for sure. I remember quite a few times of feeling the exact way that you just so lovely demonstrated.
Thank you.
No, I mean, it's hard to not to want to be saved from something that causes you so much hurt and pain and sadness. Mm-hmm. You want an easy fix and you want it right then, but it's not something we're going to learn from.
Yeah. No, you're not going to evolve from that. Being saved. It's called being enabled. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do a lot with a lot of people in our lives because we love them so much and we don't want them to hurt. So we just help them all the time. And we just enable them to remain exactly where they are because you're not going to grow if you're being enabled all the time. So the higher realm, the fifth dimension, they're saying, no, we're not going to enable you. We're just going to love you and support you through this very real and heavy and beautiful experience that you get to experience here on the earth realm, because they're saying it is a very big blessing. On a human level, it's a blessing to be here in a human body, or on a spiritual level, right? But they're also saying, like, in a leader thing, it's just all the tools. Like, if you're a leader of the new earth, you're being told that you're a leader of the new earth. It's just developments of your tools, right? Like, you're a warrior and you're gonna have to go through all these. You're gonna have to go through and fight for this ascension process because you have higher expectations than everybody else, right? If you've been chosen as a leader of the new earth and you're out there teaching people about the new earth and you're speaking of higher dimensions and love, you're gonna have a bit more hoops to jump through because we have to come from experience. We can't be teaching people from no experience. We have to have all the experiences. Our story is our testimony. I get that a lot, right? Like, your story, your evolution, your ascension is going to help people around you. It's going to. Your messages, your healing, all of this helps people. So we got to get it all under our belt.
Yeah, for sure. And they're definitely not easy, but it is definitely a journey worth taking.
Oh, Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? I mean, like, literally just think back 1 year. You've been on a very strict ascension path for how long? I mean, it's been really bad. 6, 7 months was
Yes.
when you've been really at it. And would you ever go back to where you were?
No, no. I feel more purpose, more alive, more drive.
And all the painful experiences that you never thought you would get through.
No, it's been traumatic for sure. I mean, because I know what that's the best word I can use for it. It has been traumatic. The pain is real and it's deep and it's heavy and it's like soul shattering.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard. I can't even put into words the pain to be when you love somebody so much, you know, and then having to make the choice to leave them behind.
Yes.
For you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's difficult. It is so hard.
Yeah. But when you look back, would you want to trade places with yourself 6 months ago?
I've actually thought about that. You know, I know that we talked about how we're both in contract with the Pleiadians and stuff. And you know how many personal readings you gave me and where they gave me the option to sever that contract. And I thought about that. I'm like, could I do that? Could I just sever that contract and just keep what I have? And I'm like, no, because you know what would cause me more pain is giving up something so beautiful and more meaningful to stay in something that would probably never grow and will end eventually anyways.
It's taking that step forward and trusting that the unknown might hold something. The unknown does hold something more beautiful than what I am feeling just comfort in.
Yeah. Because even the unknown is really scary. You know, like
Yes.
I don't know all everything that we have going for us. We don't know what our future holds. Like we don't get told what our future is or what our journey is going to be. And yet I'm still taking that journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I have faith in it.
Yeah, because we know the feelings and the intuition. Like, I know that fifth dimensional Earth is a place that I want to live in and that I want to remain in because I lived in the third dimension my whole life.
Yes.
And I am not going back except for to visit, right? Because all my people in the third dimension, I love them. And I'm not judging them. I don't have any judgment towards them at all. This is their very earthly experience that they wanted to experience. And I have respect and compassion for each and every one of them. It's not my job to grab them and pull them into the fifth dimension. It's my job to just live my experience and through that inspire other people, right?
Yes. To help other people take
Christ-like energy, right? We live in the lessons that the Pleiadian that guided Yeshua. Like it's all the Pleiadian energy that we're bringing through in Arcturian energy. It's that high dimensional, loving, unconditional energy. And Jesus Christ or Yeshua was one of them to bring it down here, right? And we just literally, everybody wears the bracelets. What would Jesus do? But like, honestly, are we making decisions that Jesus would do? Is that how we're really living? Or are we living according to what our humans have developed as what's right and what's wrong?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's food for thought.
Food for thought. Yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
No. Get me out of here.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.